There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of BIAFRA. BIAFRA Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever. There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of BIAFRA Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever. There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the
land of the rising sun, we love and cherish. Beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes. But if their prize is that for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. Hail to Biafra, consecrated nation. O fatherland, this be our solemn pledge. Defending thee shall be a dedication. Spilling our blood we count a privilege. The waving standard which emboldens the free shall always be a flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscathed we'll pass. When we are poised the wounds of battle to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our trumpets build the glorious song of victory. We scarred our minds around. Oh God, protect us from the hidden pitfall. Guide all our movement lest we go astray. Give us the strength to hear the humanist call, to give and not to count their cost each day. Bless those who rule to serve with resoluteness, to make this climb a land of righteousness. I think it's time to lay it all out. Can I hear my snare drum?
Yeah, keep it rolling, sis. I'm on it.
That's okay, thank you. Shake your man. Miss on my own this. Walking down the miles in a long journey. Yeah, people said we are nobody, but we know certainly we are somebody. Yeah, time is so hard. These days are like nights, yet we struggle hard to see we get to the light. Like brothers and sisters, we join our hands to work hard. Yeah, and we are making sure that we get to the promised land. A land of milk and honey that is costly and worth more than gold and money. We are making sure that we get out of this jungle, and the little quirky cabia, my sisters true. No matter how deep the ocean, we will swim through. I tell you words cannot explain all we have gone through. In the hands of the enemies, suing the government. Biafran blood, passed through with luck, but we have Chukwuki Kabiyama, nothing goes wrong. Black's rules everything around me, and it's found in my DNA. Cash rules everything around me, blood, we never give up in this struggle. We are aiming high up. We are smart and fast, and the miss can't catch up. Yes, we know what we want, so we keep our pace up. Listen, we can't demand for what is not ours. BIAFRA is a lane, then for sure is ours. That's why I'm proud to say I'm a Biafran blood. I'm a Biafran. BIAFRA is blessed, BIAFRA is great, cause Chukwuka Kabiama has approved it himself. You see, Nigeria glooms, but Biafra blooms. Biafra is an ideology, and there is no way that you can kill an ideology. We set up Biafrans and Biafra flowing in the blood through our veins, and all the efforts of our enemies to stop us has all been in vain. I think it's time to lay it all out. Can I hear my snare drum?
Yeah, keep it rolling, sis. I'm on it.
That's okay, thank you. Check your man. Miss on my own this. Walking down the miles and the long journey. Yeah, people said we are nobody, but we know certainly we are somebody. Yeah, time is so hard. These days are like nights, yet we struggle hard to see we get to the light. Like brothers and sisters, we join our hands to work hard. Yeah, and we are making sure that we get to the promised land, a land of milk and honey that is costlier and worth more than gold money. We are making sure that we get out of this jungle, and the little Kabiama sees us through. No matter how deep the ocean, we will swim through. I tell you words cannot explain all we have gone through in the hands of the enemies, suing the government. Biafran blood passed through with luck, but we have Chukwuka Kabiama, nothing goes wrong. Blacks rules everything around me, and it's found in my DNA. Cash rules everything around me, and it's found in my DNA. Yeah, freedom is everything about me, and it's found in my DNA. Biafra is everything about me, and it's found in my DNA. We Biafran blood, we never give up in this struggle. We are aiming high up. We are smart and fast, and the miss can't catch up. Yes, we know what we want, so we keep our pace up. Listen, we can't demand for what is not ours. BIAFRA is a lane, then for sure is ours. That's why I'm proud to say I'm a Biafran blood. I'm a Biafran. BIAFRA is blessed, BIAFRA is great, cause Chukwuka Kabiama has approved it himself. You see, Nigeria glooms, but Biafra blooms. Biafra is an ideology, and there is no way that you can kill an ideology. We set up Biafrans and Biafra flowing in the blood through our veins, and all the efforts of our enemies to stop us has all been in vain, cause we are the chosen ones. Yeah, blacks rules everything around me, and it's found in my DNA. Cash rules everything around me, and it's found in my DNA. Okay, freedom is everything about me, and it's found in my DNA. Biafra is everything about me, and it's found in my DNA. DNA. I apologize if it hurts you, but that's the truth. A Sunday, a Wendy.
Yes, so once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, people of conscience around the world, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station is regarded as a child of circumstance. It is actually here to play a very significant role on this quest to restore Biafra. It is the embodiment of pro-Biafran groups, those who understand the need why we need to strategically reposition ourselves, correct all the menace that is happening already within the restoration project, and of course remobilize our people and help them put their energy together and focus on one direction. And of course, the platform is being anchored by Diokpa Uchuka from Efo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State. Anambra State is Biafra land. He's the man who has simply assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. And by the special grace of the Almighty Creator, I am George ONYIBE, and I come from Abo, Anyoma province in Delta State. I want to use this opportunity as customary demand to appreciate every member of the de facto customary government who has come together to put up this platform, eagerly desiring in honesty that Biafra be restored in truth and in fairness. I want to acknowledge members of the parliament, the legislative arms, of course. I want to acknowledge the executives, the implementation committee, all those who are going about for consultation. You are all highly appreciated. Members of Biafra Nation Alliance, acknowledge all of you who, against all odds, like I always say, you stand up against evil and bloodly men. You should have run, should have chosen to be living in the prison of fear. But you understand that it will not make any difference. You stood your ground. Unlike most of our brethren who are man pleaser, forgetting that what we are doing here compasses the whole future of a nation, and we cannot afford to let down the next generation. Acknowledge indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu, because you people are the reason why we are here. I'm not talking about genuine indigenous people of Biafra. I'm talking about indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu. They are on Facebook. We pray honestly that God will open your eyes. You are a recruit, we know. You are there already, insulting, antagonizing, blackmailing, and lying. A nation or a throne that is built on falsehood will not stand. The earlier you get that, the better for all of us. And so, as always, do your job and I do my job. And I must appreciate conscientious men and women who, most of them are not even Biafra, but they understand our position and the need for us to keep on pushing until finally this freedom we long for is ours. And then how can I proceed without acknowledging the Creator, the lifting up of our head, our guide and hope and stay? And so in my humble way tonight, and as always, I say to him, Anyị na-aja gị mma maka n'eziokwu ebo sọ mma ịhụnanya na gị obiọma gị o juru anya dadi o inwe gị mgbanwe ọ dị onye dịka gị ebo Alpha na Omega dadi. Anyị niile na-asị na medimao ise. This evening we continue from our discussion where we stopped the last time, of course in our yesterday presentation. Today we will go to the third series of the same topic, dominating our advantage space. We have spaces we control as a people, as a nation, as individual, as organization. We all have spaces we are meant to control. And if we have space to control, You cannot dominate such control. You cannot exercise dominion over such space except you have been able to exhibit some atom of control. The Biafra Restoration Project, or the people of Biafra, has a particular space they need to control, and not until they are in perfect control of this space, it is impossible for them to dominate. Nigeria made up of 3 major ethnic nations: the Arewa, the Oduduwa, and the Biafrans. The Oduduwa and the Arewa has moved on. They have put strategies in place that enables them not only to control their space, they dominate it. But I can sincerely tell you tonight that this is not the same case with the people of Biafra. At the beginning of this study, I tried to point out those areas that we need to be in control of, some of which are like the social media space. What are we doing with it? We talked about our political space. We looked into economic space, our educational space, religious space, cultural space, and of course leadership space, to mention but a few. We spent our time yesterday on the economic space, under which we have 2 branches: the agricultural space, and then we talked about commerce and industry. And of course, this evening we shall proceed to look at 2 other spaces that we need to control in order to be able to dominate them. Most people will not understand what is keeping us down. We can begin to put up talent display, fashion parade. We can begin to seek attention. We can pretend we know it all. But the only thing that is holding us down is just for us to organize ourselves. Nothing more, nothing less. We have every other thing. And I fall down under the roadmap for the Biafran de facto customary government, which is anchored on the principle of Montevideo Declaration. And I keep laying emphasis on one of them as far as this series is concerned, which is effective governance. And so tonight we will proceed to look at the spaces, 2 other spaces that we need to control as a people in order for us to be able to harmoniously restore Biafra without shooting a gun. It is important that we understand the need for us to control this space in the midst of this uncertainty. And so we consider tonight cultural space and then leadership space. Which has the capacity of influencing the activities of each other. When we talk about controlling our cultural space, not everybody will understand. We have a culture and tradition. This is just the real definition of who we are. It is our response that clearly introduces us before the global community. It is our culture and tradition that becomes the guide, that motivates, that drives everything we do as a people. On daily basis, we lose control over our culture. And to some of you, it really doesn't matter. It won't give us Biafra. But I tell you the truth. The moment you begin to relegate your culture, your tradition to the background, invariably you are just like a tree that is planted in the desert. You will surely wither out. We come to a stage in this struggle, we raise up security outfits which only achievement is to kill their people. They say they come to chase out Fulani herdsmen. They want to protect our land. But it's on record that 99.9% of their victims are supposedly the people they are supposed to protect. And there were deliberate attempts to bastardize, to destroy our culture and tradition. We all know, those of you who were born in the 80s backwards, as a Biafran, you will know it's a sacrilege, it's a taboo. It is forbidden to spill the blood of another. It is forbidden. It's not about the spiritual implication. It is utterly condemned by our fathers in order not to encourage murder, in order not to encourage the killing of one another. Today you see people threatening each other. I made a post, like I promised yesterday I was going to make a post. And this was the post where supposedly we are inside trying to settle issues as regarding the Biafra restoration project. But the person you are even telling, on the other hand, has a different motive. They see you as enemy. I remember vividly well, Dr. Kado was advising Nnamdi Kanu regarding certain issue. We've talked about this government for a very long time. These are some of the things that led formation to the single fact that we were able to introduce the code of conduct in 2020. After how many years IPOB published their code of conduct? After over a decade. But it has interior motive. And outside the code of conduct, conflict resolution committee was immediately introduced. And these are people they can go behind and influence their judgment. In fact, to copy it all, Tony Zurumike, being one of the problem we have at that time, is the head of conflict resolution committee. Why am I saying it? We all saw what was going on. We kept quiet. That is because we have lost value for our culture. And Nnamdi Kanu came on air. He said there is a man they call Agwo Turumbi. When we come for you, you will know that we am Agwo. And I knew he was talking to me. And I know I don't deserve that. And I know I have no urge against him. Because we tell you the simple truth. And I called Mazi Mefo and said, did you see what your brother is saying? He said, what is that? I said, that statement he made, he was referring to me. And Mazi Mefo intelligently asked me, how are you sure you are the one he's talking to? I say, Google Facebook, nobody answer Agwo Turumbi. They can go and open Agwo Turumbi after this broadcast. But it's too late. We already know the truth. Of course, Mazi Mefo diligently searched for Agwo Turumbi. It was nowhere to find. I told him, it's okay, foreign, who used to call me that name each time he come on my platform. And so when they gossip to Nnamdi Kanu, he capitalized on it. When you stand, he will brush you down. He's the only man standing. Okono manandi banye si n'ebe beri ugoberi nke si beye bena nkuya kwaya. These are cultures and tradition. With less respect for them, they are no more of any value to us, and then it affects our character and way of reasoning. Why am I bringing it up? Like I promised, I made the post. Just go and look at the response of people on that post. You see, these are people who are not circumcised. So now you be there with fake Facebook account. Those are irrelevant. Those are irrelevant. If we have respect for our culture and our tradition, most of the things happening today will not happen. Leaders lost their value, they lose focus. As a child, for instance, where I come from, stealing is highly prohibited, forbidden. We went to farm one day during the holiday, and I noticed people harvest yam and they leave it along the road. People harvest their crops, and because of difficulty in getting transport to convey the goods, they leave it along the road. And then I noticed they drop stones on top of those crops. Nobody steals it. Sometimes it can stay there 1 week until they get vehicle to convey it to the destination. And I asked my uncle, I said, these crops, they don't steal them? And he said no. According to our culture, according to our belief system, the moment you keep these crops here, you drop a stone on top of it, it implies that nobody should take it. And they believe that if you steal it, the problem or the weight of the earth will be upon you. This is their belief system. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, but it prevents people from stealing. Because it is said that if you do not put the stone, those who are hungry have the right to take it. It's just like when you come to Bible injunction where he says, if you are caught, if you steal from someone's farm and you are not caught, God will not be angry with you. David did that. Jesus' disciples did that. But he said, if you are caught, from the epistles of Paul, he said that person should be made to pay double of what he has stolen. In other words, if you are not caught, you are not a criminal. There are cultures that governs those ones according to our traditions and culture. But what I'm trying to draw out from this point is that because of our value system, which was almost completely destroyed in recent time, we begin to lose it all, and most of us cannot see it. And so with this simple belief system, nobody steals. But today, where are these belief systems? They have all been destroyed. But others protect theirs. We help to destabilize. Now understand, these are belief system. These are faith. Nobody's afraid to kneel before the God they serve. Based on experience, people who can think, put strategies in place to discourage crimes of different nature from happening within the society. That is where culture comes from. If we are not in control, that is why you see the things that are happening. We cannot dominate those areas. It may not mean anything to you as a Biafran, because you have not been genuinely or sincerely able to exploit its advantage. And I'm very sorry, I will not have the whole time to be able to explain this truth for you. Let's look at it from another angle. Have you ever seen a Yoruba man going to a Yoruba function with Igbo attire? As a Biafran, have you seen it? Have you seen a Yoruba man going to Yoruba occasion and dressed like a German? It's even very difficult to see a Yoruba man going to Yoruba occasion and dressed with the colonial master attire. It's almost impossible. Except they are on official duty, there is need for them to breeze in, and so they breeze in maybe with the colonial master attire. And then one begin to answer, what is the significance? Does it really mean anything? Can it give us Biafra? These things connect the people and create a sense of unification among them, even without them knowing. When Arewa youth want to address you as a Nigeria, they wear their Fulani cloth. In fact, they consider it as a sacrilege and a taboo for them to wear another tribe's dressing. But to you as a Biafran, it doesn't matter. We celebrate Ashebi. It's Ashebi Ijo attire. It's Ashebi Idoma attire. It's Ashebi Igala attire. It's Ashebi Igbo attire. It's Ashebi Urubu attire. Watch all the Biafran people, I tell you. They even magnify the culture and tradition of others. But in the process of doing that, you are losing your ground. And so who are we? Who are we at the end of the day? But all these things don't make sense to you. But automatically your neglecting to notice it has robbed you of your sense of belonging. You cannot control. You cannot dominate those areas. That is why in most cases we become second-hand fatal. It's even fourth-hand. I know it's not making sense to you, but think about it. Why will the Arewa insist on projecting their image? Go and look at the national television. It looks like a mosque already. Go and look at Aso Rock. It is a picture of a mosque already. Go and look at the image of Nigeria. It is that of Islam already. But to us it doesn't mean. We have said these things over and over. For us to have a proper sense of belonging, we must go back to our roots. And when we say it, some people will say, oh, they are doing juju. Our ancestors are evil. Our ancestors, not my own ancestors. Maybe your own ancestors. Because we have taken time to study everything they put in place. Our inability to comprehend the message they were passing to us, or as a result of misinterpretation of those who do not clearly understand the message they are passing to us, what do? We call it evil. They call it evil. Because you don't understand what they mean, you call it evil. Let me give you another example if you will understand. And then as we go back, we begin to revisit this area. It is going to help us to bond faster than you can imagine. I played the music some time ago, coming from Cross River State. And then somebody called on that program and said, the song you played is from where? I say, particular tribe, ethnic nationality from Cross River State. Akankpa. It said it looks like my town musical instrument, and this person is from Aberiba. The man was so happy. He was like, we are the same. If we do not control this area, as irrelevant it may be to you, there is no glue that will bond us more than that. It's painful. We have to start all over again. In those days, Nnamdi Kanu will tell you, if your mother tied 2 wrappers, you are a Biafran. It was easy to get all of us back together. And which is the truth? But today, they are gradually destroying our value system. That is why Mazi Mefo keep telling you, we cannot allow you to destroy our value system. He may have another thing in mind, but that is what invariably he was saying to all of us. I said, let me give me one example, and then I will leave that. Let those who can reason understand. We celebrate New Yam Festival. According to our culture and tradition, the people are not allowed to eat yam until the New Yam Festival celebration. I asked my uncle the significance of New Yam celebration. He told me that the gods will be angry if we eat the yam without first of all appreciating the God of harvest. And so they fix a date that they celebrate the New Yam Festival, and after which everybody is free to go and eat their yam. I said, but what if they eat the yam without acknowledging the God of harvest? He said the person will fall sick and may even die. This is a belief system. The church does harvest, but there is no spirituality attached to it. They just want to appreciate the God of harvest, the creator. But then with time, out of curiosity, I want to find out, why will the God of harvest strike one with plague if you eat yam? Most especially yam. Because the New Yam Festival is attached to yam. And I discovered there are high content of chemical which is toxic to the body that are found not only on yam, even on cassava. You cannot just harvest them immediately and you begin to consume them. You need to allow it to stay exposed to the sun to certain days, and then the content of such chemical will reduce, and then the yam, the cassava, will be fit for consumption. But to their own understanding, those who have tried to harvest the yam the same day, eat it the same day, they have running stomach, and so they believe, maybe they believe, the gods have struck them. And then the high priest, who were medical doctors in their own time, will research, and maybe they discovered, let's keep the yam for 7 days, whatever procedure they use. But the point is that at the end of the 7th day, the 4 market day magnified to 23 market day, 21 days, they come back and say you can eat the yam, the gods is happy, and so they fix a date. And so whether it makes sense to you or it doesn't make sense to you, there is a system that helps save life based on culture and tradition. I can give you instances, examples, series of examples. I will end up confusing you. But in a nutshell, we must control this space. The Igbo must defend its identity, and which they are doing very well. and I'm proud of it. The Ijaws are doing very well, the Urobo, and we must continue by that. We must discourage some of our newfound method of living, neutralizing our culture and tradition, because it brings separation, division among us. I won't go in depth more than that, because truth is bitter. Let's leave it at that. And then the second area we need to control is the area of leadership. Leadership space. The cultural space and the leadership space. It's almost impossible to separate them. You know, in theology there is something, a theology dogma. They said it's separatable, inseparable. There are things that can be separated but yet cannot be separated. It's a religious dogma anyway. And so the issue of cultural space and that of cultural leadership is separatable, inseparable. For your culture to be preserved, for your tradition to be preserved, the leaders have to play their unique role. This is the problem of Africa. This is the problem of Nigeria. And eventually it is becoming the problem of most ethnic nationality in Biafra land. Leaders. The vacuum provided by the leaders is so wide, almost impossible to cover up. With the amount of resources we have in Nigeria, deposited natural resources, human capacity, Nigerians are not supposed to be suffering. But there is no leader. There are leaders everywhere, but the truth is that there is no leader, because they lack the quality of great leader. I said they lack the quality of great leaders. And so those spaces, it's not being controlled by anybody. It is vacant. And if we don't control the space of leadership, how exactly can we dominate on those aspects? Others are doing fine. You can easily come out and say Igbo easy. But we have leaders at different stages. Leaders who are very effective in their jurisdiction. Before now, almost all of us come from polygamous home. Your father have 3 wives. Your father have 4 wives, 10 wives, 2 wives. And you see in one compound, each of them have their hut. Each of them train their children. I have an uncle. One of them, during holiday, we go to the village. I think he has 4 wives. Can you believe that as we speak, I don't even know who their mother is? I only know their father. But I know they are not all from the same mother. I said one of my uncle have 4 wives. And they have up to 19 children. That my uncle have about 19 children. As we speak, The youngest among them got married about, it's not up to 2 months ago. And so you should know all of them are grown-up men. I don't even know who their mother is. It's only few of them that I say, okay, this is your mother, and I don't know the rest. The leadership skill of these men you think don't have sense is amazing. Because in the morning, maybe it's the first wife that have to cook. And so she cook and serve everybody. They put it in a train, and all of us sit down and we eat in that train. And some of you would say, Kai is barbaric. But then I begin to understand the reason why they do those things is so if you want to poison your mates' children, you poison everybody. I think that is one of the mindset behind that. But they create bond and unity, just like culture and tradition. Today in a home, we are on dining table, everybody face your warrant, you are easily poisoned. But that is not the area we are looking at. We are looking at leadership skills which our leaders lack. Leader can be a man, leader can be a woman. But for you to be able to pilot affair of any group, numbers of person, you're supposed to have certain qualities, some of which we're going to review tonight. And so in the absence of that, without a leader, we are not going anywhere. Leader is not about who is the supreme mercy. No. Leader is about occupying a position where you have fed positive control that will enhance the progress of such group. Let me give example. May her soul rest in peace. My mother had many children. We have seen good time and we have seen tough time. Like when Buhari was president of Nigeria around 1983, I have said it severally. He introduced austerity measure as they are introducing reception. They were hardship. Within a period of 7 months, we saw hair. But then I learned something from my mother. She will cook the small food she can get, distribute it for all of us. She will sit down and be looking at us. She will make sure we are satisfied. And if for any reason we finish eating and we are satisfied, and then she gathered the remaining one to feed. And then you see children coming from other compound to our compound because there is hunger. It's the emblem of Buhari. I'll see my mother will gather those food and give to those children. And one of my brother will say, Mama, you never chop. He say, no, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. But she's hungry. She understands the need why she has to starve for us to be able to come up. These are signs of a leader. And so let us see if we can briefly go through some qualities of a great leader, not just a leader. Number one, vision. A leader must have a vision. Perhaps the greatest quality any leader can have is vision. The ability to see the big picture of where the organization or team they are working within is headed. Vision. A leader should be able to understand the implication of everything they do. This thing we are doing, where is it heading to? If a leader cannot be able to visage where they are heading to, and then that leader is not a good leader. Ask our politician. Where are they leading us to? Better world? You see, they don't have vision. That is why you complain about Buhari. Buhari will leave office. The one worse than Buhari will come. You complain of your governor. They will leave office. The one coming will be worst. Because these people are not visionaries. Their interest is on another way. Orji Zokalo was there, Abia State, as a case study. Everybody complained, Orji Zokalo. And then Orji came. Things got worse. And then Okezi Ekpazu is there. You should be able to understand. You come to Delta, Ibori was there. People complained. And then Uduaga came in. The same complaint continue. And Okowa is there. Has it been anything better? These people don't have vision. And if we want to make them have vision, we will teach them. We will teach them by organizing ourselves. But if we can't organize ourselves, how can we teach them? Where did they want to take their state to? In the next 4 or 8 years, they have to stay in office. Nothing. They don't have any vision. Their own is how to steal money. Steal enough money. Then tie some road and dig borehole. So it looks as if they are doing anything. When will our leaders begin to say, in the next 4 years, I will make sure that unemployment rate is reduced by 70% and work towards it? When will our leader begin to say, my 8 years in office, I will make sure there is free health facilities put in place? When will that happen? The leaders we have are busy thinking how to remove subsidy. Every year they are removing subsidy. The same thing is applicable to Biafra restoration project. Not until we have leaders who are visionaries, we will only be doing jamboree. No vision. Number 2, inspiration. Equally as important as having a visionary is the ability to convey that vision to others and get them excited about this. This means maintaining a positive yet realistic presence within the organization, helping the team member to stay motivated and engaged. We're talking about inspiration. Inspire them to do more. Inspire them to be engaged with enthusiasm. Inspire them. What do we have? What are the leaders we have? Checking the Biafran struggle, check the leaders you are. You're being inspired to become unknown gunmen. You are being inspired to insult your brother. You are being inspired to burn your community down. You are being inspired to destroy everywhere. You are inspired to lie. When things were right, everybody was inspired. Why? Because we have leaders who could inspire you to do more. They are no longer here. Leaders you have now are the ones who want to endanger your life, discourage you. Just take time, examine activities that is going on within this Biafra restoration project from one platform to another, and tell me if there is anything to inspire you there. Because we don't have leaders. During election, whether you vote or you don't vote, nobody votes because they have faith in any leader anymore. They vote because of what they can get. I'm talking about our region. Leaders must be strategic and critical thinkers. There are things you don't do. As a leader, you must be strategic and you must think critically. Everything we do, we have given them a deep thought. We have weighed the advantage and the disadvantage. And we know why we have to do certain things that are not acceptable. Because it is going to save many lives in the end. Strategically, we deploy our case, and with critical thinking, we'll solve the problem. A good leader will be able to think critically about the organization or team that they work within, and develop a clear understanding of its strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, and how they as individual can work to support to overcome this. Leaders should be able to understand the threat within your organization. Leaders should be able to understand the weakness and the strength. Without this quality manifesting in a leader, what you have is a confused group or team. And then Nandekano was busy calling everybody, saboteur, saboteur, you are a saboteur, rat in the cage. Do you think he was a leader? Old fools, idiot, rubbish, Wazurike arm robber, Asare criminal, Nawodo info. You think he was a leader? You think he was thinking critically? The same people today are pleading for him. Leaders must be people who have interpersonal communication. A good leader must be able to interact with other people in a way that feels genuine. This does not mean that they have to be an extrovert or people person to be a leader. No. There are many excellent leaders whose self-identity as introvert. Rather, it means being able to demonstrate empathy, engaging in activity, listening, and building meaningful working relationship with those around them, whether they are peer or a direct report. As a leader, you must have this quality. Talk to people with respect. Look at the level we are as a people. Look at this platform. Somebody will come out and say, I want to do something like this. And you are a leader. You hijack it. If you don't hijack it, you rubbish it. And you say you want to lead the people. Catholic is one of the greatest institutions in the world. Catholic Church have the highest institution in the world. How did they get there? How did they get there? Because the leadership of the Catholic Church understand the important role interpersonal communication and of course execution of such principle could lead them to the level where they are. If you go to the Catholic Church, for instance, you hear order of St. Mulumba, order of St. Teresa, you hear about the Knights, and so many other groups. Have you tried to wonder why they all have to exist? The charismatic renewal, the adoration ministry. Not all their activities are in line with the principle of the Catholic Church, but they create platform that will enable all of them coexist, coherence. They can come together. If you go to Catholic Church, you say, I'm a native doctor, they open order of native doctor for you. If you go to Catholic Church, you want to worship with them and you say you are Muslim, they open order of Muslim for you. And so under one umbrella, they've been able to bring people of different faith and belief together. Today, supposedly leader are the ones dividing us. You can be in APC and then protect PDP. You can be in PDP and understand it is your responsibility to watch over the affairs of ABGA, and so on and so forth. And so you can be a member of Mozob and understand that IPOB is still part of the process. But will IPOB, IPONC or Funande Kano, will they have regard for anybody? The zombies, some of them are on my platform now saying, well, what nonsense are they saying? What rubbish are they saying? They want Biafra. Not until we have leaders with these qualities. You are a career freedom fighter. Continue. We look at the number 5 there. Authenticity and self-awareness. Leaders should have these qualities. One of the key ways to become a great leader is to be self-aware, enough to understand your strengths and your flaws, and then go and build an authenticated relationship that is true to who you are, and you do best in your work. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Know your strength, know your weakness. I keep using IPOB to give you an example, because as a Biafran, this is where you learn the truth the more. One of the greatest weakness of Nnamdi Kanu is not that he is just an accomplished. He loves gossip. He loves gossip. Just give him small money and gossip. He can even kill his parents for that. That is his weakness. But he should have studied his weakness and hide it. We all have our weakness. I understand I can be very harsh. Limited temperament. I can easily lose control. And I regret my actions in the end of it. And so what do I do? When you are talking, I'll be looking at you. When you insult me, I'll be analyzing it. The last thing I will do is to react. And when I react, I will not hold back. And then it will have been obvious to everybody that, no, these people have done something. And so nobody is a Superman. Nobody is a Power Mike. Not until we have leaders who are sensitive to these issues, we will just be roaming around. It's not as if one person can achieve this. But one person with this kind of ability can be able to influence many other to cover up the area they cannot meet up. A leader must be open-minded and creativity. Open-mindedness and creativity. Now the Kano, for instance, will call me, ONYIBE, you are doing very well, you are doing very well, I'm proud of you. And I played the audio for somebody. I won't mention the name of the person. You say, you mean he told you this? The person started laughing and almost died. Go to my Facebook wall, Justice Mariri. You will see text message when Nnamdi Kanu have finished assigning the people that will destroy me, George ONYIBE. One of them wrote to me, I have to clean his Facebook account so that I will not betray him. He said, I've been asking you, what problem do you have with Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB? But you said there is no problem. Yes, there is no problem because we thought Nnamdi Kanu is still normal. We have issue and we believe it can be resolved. And the person said, anyway, in the coming week, IPOB is going to descend on you. I want you to be calm. Don't say anything. They have arranged it, but una no get sense. I am your destiny and I'm your doom. All of una punk, una no get sense. But what did I do? What did I do? What did others do? All Nnamdi Kanu audio, sending people to rubbish me. I played them and I listen. I'm still trying to figure out. And like I always say, the day he will mention my name, Pim, I will send him 40 years into his career. He will turn to 13 years. So you people see how rotten they can be. Go look at it on my Facebook. They have mobilized IPOB. Who is the IPONK? Who is that IPONK? They will descend on me. This is a leader. That is supposed to be a leader who is leading us, who have 100 standard of judging matter. When you are related to him, you are always right. We lack leaders. We lack leaders. And I pray we will learn some of these characters of great leaders. And those of you in the position of leadership should begin to emulate and imbibe on such culture, because that is the beginning of success. He said, Nnamdi Kanu come out in the open and lie. He lies and then he go behind and do another thing. Ono je ikpiri kuji ato ase. But the lie this man lies, Satan himself will be afraid. You are looking for Biafra. And most of you are like that. Open-mindedness and creativity. A leader must be flexible. A leader must be flexible. Flexibility. Leadership also means being adaptable. Things cannot go perfectly. As a leader, you must be able to manage everybody. Some people are not to be controlled. You can't control them. They are simply weapons. And so what do? You use them. You don't control them. You use them. You must understand how people react to issues. And that should guide you on how you manage their matter. If you are a leader, you must be flexible. I have people who work under me. One of them I employed lately. He will ask me question and ask me question and ask me question. My head will go in flame. But I understand the need I have to be tolerant. And I see he's that kind of person. In the morning we'll say, Oga, now that we have come, I think we have to sweep the office. I say yes. And I say, Oga, sorry, after sweeping the office, do we dust the table? I say yes. It's okay. Then if we dust the table, then we can now sit down. I say yes. He said, Oga, no vessel. Are we going to close early today? He just bugged my life with questions. And so what do I do when I want to lose my cool? He said, Oga, no vessel. As I done the vessel. Keep the next question, later on you ask me. He will start laughing. And I thought maybe it was a way of trying to be familiar, but I see that is the kind of person he is. That is how I keep questioning everybody, asking everybody questions. That is who he is. Flexibility. Then there are others, they don't talk. If I look at them, I say, this man know they talk, waiting they think. What could be the problem? I'll go and open conversation with such person. And then with time I discovered that this one like to live isolated life. And so I let him have his peace. A leader must be flexible. You must have basis of managing those you are leading. You can say to one, get out here, you are idiot, stupid. He tell you, yes sir, thank you sir. But then you tell to someone, are you okay? He will harass you. Why are you insulting me? And you have many of such people in your team. And then be ready to fight with them. Is that not what is happening in IPOB today? Because your leader compromised the standard. A leader must be responsible. Responsibility and dependability should be his motto. One of the most important qualities of a leader or a leader can have is the sense of responsibility and dependability. Whatever you do, you should know as a leader, you are responsible. All this year we have handled positions of leadership. One of my greatest weapons is to hear everybody out and to watch within the congregation that the seed of bitterness is not sown among us. Because according to the Bible, when such happen, it will defy many people. Somebody will come and say, Michael do like this, he can't do like that, he can't do like that. I say, don't worry, I'll look into it. Let's see what we can do. But adventure, it does not mean you bad. Please be a little bit patient. And then we engage in such issue. And you can go carry the case to Michael. And Michael says, so he's judging me, he's gossiping me. Whatever happened in the course of trying to resolve that problem, I am responsible. And we must take responsibility. Have you ever seen a man that cannot accept responsibility? That is a leader. He's leading us to Biafra land. Nobody is a Superman. We all have our flaws. And so if you look at the patriots of faith, those of them who made mistake, they acknowledge it. David as a friend of God, Psalm 51, when he was confronted with his evil, by Prophet Nathan. He did not start looking for a method to hide his sin and justify his action. He poured sand on his head. He tore his robe. He fell on the ground. The Bible says he knew the son was going to die. But then he continued to cry to God. And then when the son died, he rose up and anointed his head with oil. And people begin to wonder. You have been praying as if this child die, you will die. Now the child died and you went to dress up. It's simple. Cast me not away from your presence, O Lord. Take not the Holy Spirit from me. He realized he has sinned. He took responsibility for it. Today, the kind of leaders we have, even when they are committing atrocity, abominable act, they are still right. We had that solo trust in Nnamdi Kanu. We came out and gave him ultimate support. He gave us Sharan Juju to swear, so he can be comfortable and focus on the job we call him to do. Or rather, he said he was going to do. What did he do? He betrayed all of us. And when you come, he said, "Anya ne farosin, anya ne farosin njohi, njohi." In farosin. Look at the confusion is causing everywhere. God will not pardon all of you who have soiled your hand in the blood of our people, and those of you who are playing game of indulgence. God will let you feel the pain of those who have been betrayed. The leader should be responsible. When are we going to have a leader that will come out and say, "I'm truly sorry, it was not intentional"? They are God. Dependable. Those of you in IPONK, those of you who are out of IPONK, take record of all the people who served Nnamdi Kanu. Just as he tells us, serve Nigeria and return in shame. All of you, he sent you out in shame. They are not dependable. Patience and tenacity. A good leader knows how to take the long view, whether it is of strategy, a situation, or a goal. Being able to take on any bomb in the road and persist on what and persist on without getting frustration or defeated. In every project, that is the key. With patience and tenacity. Where are such leaders? And of course, the 10th one there is a continuous improvement. A true leader knows that perfection is a myth. There is always a room for improvement on all levels, from the personal to the team to the overall organization. There will always be willing to help the team member find a way to develop new skills or improve upon weakness. Be able to identify and implement strategy for helping the organization as a whole to grow, and perhaps most importantly, be able to look inward and identify the areas they would like to work on and then act on them. A leader should be able to look into their group, their organization, and look out for avenues to improve on what they are doing. Biafra restoration project, are we actually improving? And so you see, on this space, they are vacuum. They are vacuum. It's not as if we lack the human capacity. We have people who can fill this vacuum. We have people who can mount on this position of leadership, but maybe they are poor, or maybe they are not educated, maybe they are not connected. And then those who are able to get there, when you are supposed to improve on the capacity of your team, on the capacity of your organization, we run them down. Nigeria deliberately impoverish her citizens, so nobody can be able to rise up and challenge them. But with such atmosphere, Nigerian is destined for backwardness, and the same thing is applicable to any group, organization, who try to cage their members, their teammates, in order to remain on top. You are not a leader, you are a tyrant. You are not a leader, you will ruin the whole system, as we are explaining today. And so the people of Biafra who are occupying positions of leadership must begin to review their conduct. They must begin to review their activities. They must begin to review their action, because a lot is at stake. Like I said, it is almost tied to our cultures and tradition. Separatable, inseparable. If we control this area, if we control this space, if we dominate this space, I can assure you, the Biafra Restoration Project will be drawn to a conclusive end, even before you know it. Effective governance can only be possible when the space are not just controlled but dominated. And so I invite you this evening, look for the Biafran de facto customary government and be part of this great move, that you might have your say in our say. It doesn't matter if you are from a Gala, you are a Duma, you are a Joe, Urobo, Shekiri, Igbo. As far as you are a Biafran, Akwa Ibom, Ibibio, Efik, Anan, I tell you, this is the platform for you to be. I'm happy the code of governance is out there already. It is still subjected to review. At this moment, we could say it is flexible, because when leaders begin to emerge in the nearest future, there will be the need to review, addition will be made, and maybe suppression or amendment could affect the code of governance. But at least at this moment, we have about 17 pages of the code of governance, which I encourage all of you to be part of. You can join the Biafra Nation Alliance family through our administrators around the world. We have our brother Izuchukwu Kuli Mbadike, mobilizing the continent of America. And of course, we have noblemen like Mazu BD, Dr. Nwokinkwo and the rest of them. We have Europe, Mazi Paul Okinkwo. Of course, you have Mbadike working side by side with him. We have Odogun Awele, of course, in the Asian continent. We have Udowele and Audio Guinea right there in South Africa. We have Onwukwe right there in Biafra land. All of them mobilizing our people. We need to create a platform that will enable us control all our space. All our space. And of course, at this moment, our lines are open. As always, our direct line is just a minute. Our direct line is 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971. For the last time, the direct line is 081-221-52971. And then our WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642. That is our WhatsApp line. And of course, if you cannot access this studio line, you are free to call in on my social media platform. You are free to call in on my social media platform like my WhatsApp, personal WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. That is if you have it. Do not forget we are on FM. We are on Simple Radio, Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. It's on app. We are on satellite. And of course, River, Delta, Anambra State, partly we have the radio going on there. And of course, frantic effort is being made to ensure that we have all these things put in place. A relay station put in place everywhere. This is the time all of us have to come together, register our displeasure, make available our grievance, look at the challenges that lies ahead of us, and then ultimately work for solution to overcome those challenges. I'll be back in a minute.
I got nine. Respect to the Most High. Yeah. Biafra, the rising sun. Now hear me now.
Everywhere in the world, Biafrans are fighting for freedom. Freedom, yeah. Biafrans, we know what we want. Biafrans, we know what we need. All we want is Biafra.
One of us, caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yes, this is Okun Paul Okro, blessing officer for Europe and London. Good evening, Maze.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Diokba.
You're welcome to the program.
Yeah. You have suffered a lot. Every day you keep repeating you have. Stop you. You have done all this for the love of your people. Please, I want to beg you tonight, stop crying. The God in heaven have seen your love for your people. God in heaven have seen your suffering for your people. Nothing will happen to you. I am deeply touched for all you have sacrificed, that our people are not seeing what you have gone through in the sake of this struggle. Only God in heaven will reward you. Man cannot reward you. You have suffered a lot. You have seen dead bodies. You have stepped across. You have been poisoned 5 times. Still, you are still standing strong to propagate this gospel, to change the minds, the brainwashed brothers and sisters to reason and change from their thinking, as no man can give them Biafra except infinite God in heaven. God cannot do for man what man can do for themselves. That is why Biafra de facto government is in place now to guide our people. Diokpa ONYIBE, God will bless you. God will bless your family. God will bless anything you touch, anything you lay your hands on. Because my people say the word of men are word of God. All the blessing that people are blessing you will not go in vain. Keep on doing what you are doing. It might not be now, but tomorrow, God will show why he is God. Man cannot be God, and God cannot be man. You are doing a good job. I salute Biafran de facto customary government headed by Asare Dokumbo, the board of interim government of Biafra, most especially Biafran Nations Alliance, which I am a part of, under the leadership of Uchimofo, and you yourself, ONYIBE, the head of administration. I don't have much to say than to tell you what Uchimofo used to tell us back in the days. Keep on keeping on. It shall be well with you. Ogadiri maneke, ogadiri manori, ogadiri manafo, ogadiri manawwo. Diokpa, you are doing a very good job. As a mobilizing officer for Europe and UK, my name still remains Mazi Paul Okoronkwo. My number for those of you calling from Europe, we have administrator, but as a mobilizing officer, I will leave my number as +44 75 3641 5024. If you are in UK and you want to be part of Biafra de facto customary government, even if you don't want to belong, you can join Biafran de facto government on your own. Not necessarily that you will join Uchemofo, George ONYIBE, or Bill Masop. You can register yourself as a individual and participate in what Biafran government is doing. If you are in UK, my number is 075 3641 5024. I will guide you to your nearest family. But if you are calling to antagonize, please, this number is not for you. We have our broadcasters. If you don't want to call me, you can call Mazi Chidera, broadcasting from South Africa. This is our platform, Radio Biafra Extra. You can call Okuawoka, Radio Human Rights and Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio in Canada, or you can call Madike, mobilizing officer for American continent. Obidio Bienu, everybody knows him from onset. If you don't have his number, look for him on WhatsApp, on Facebook, message him, he will direct you. Mazi ONYIBE, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity May God continue to bless you. Keep on the good job you are doing. Good night, sir.
Thank you very much, Mazi Paul Okinkwo Okom. And of course, we are not going anywhere. We came out here because we want Biafra to be restored. And we are not going anywhere until it's restored. Career freedom fighters must get ready, because you're not going to have a feast day. As far as the watchmen are here, we are watching all of you physically and spiritually, because in the end we stand between the living and the dead. It is the truth that brought us here. This truth must lead us home. But sometimes, out of ignorance, we do some of the things we do. And so we begin to appeal to your conscience with the hope that most of us will be awakened, and then we do the right thing. But you are awake or you remain sleeping. The point is that the Biafran Restoration Project will not see corruption. Not under our watch. Nobody will be allowed to sell the next generation. And of course, you are encouraged. As a Biafran, you are encouraged. Every one of us has something we can put on the table. It is going to take all of us to save all of us. Nothing spiritual about what we are doing. Nothing physical about what we are doing. And let's say it's just natural. It can be influenced. We need to go home. Look at some of the things we do. Look at the people around us. Other component nation that makes up Nigeria. Find out why they are not on the same payroll. Why they are not on the same platform with us. Is it because we are more brilliant and more intelligent than them? One thing is at stake. If we don't stop Nigeria, Nigeria will stop us. If we don't stop Nigeria, Nigeria will stop us. There is no logical thinking that can make me see otherwise. Because everything happening already point out to the same evil. Point out to evil. Targeted against us as a people. Deliberately. And it is only a tree you will tell, we are going to kill you, and it remains there. This is the time for us not just to develop defense mechanism to survive this ordeal, but at the same time begin to develop the capacity to improvise when necessary. You are Biafran anywhere you are around the world. If we don't save Biafra, if we don't make effort to save Biafra, nobody will save Biafra. Nobody will save us. And so we call upon you. It is time to review the journey so far. It is time to review the position where we have found ourselves, and then possibly make amends when necessary. Do not say it doesn't concern you. But maybe because of a purpose like this, you were created in the first place. Do not think you have no role to play. But through sincerity, through genuineness, come to the stage and play your role. In the era of blackmail, the era of character assassination is gone. Lies and deceit is gone. And of course, at this moment, we are inching closer to the end of this program. And maybe tomorrow, we'll look at some areas we need to dominate. You have to control before you can dominate. And so they go together. The people of Biafra must have a holistic thinking about what is happening. View every subject matter. Tell yourself the truth. You will see it will be easier for all of us to come together and form one impenetrable unit, and then you see nobody can stop us. and then we can do anything. Like I said, at this moment, I'll be winding up. Tomorrow is another day. We'll continue from where we stop. Nobody takes a kingdom by words, but by action. We have started congregating already. You are encouraged to be part of this great move. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Those who threaten on Facebook Messenger, inbox, on WhatsApp, they are tired already. Those who come on Facebook and insult and yap, they are tired already. And then one will begin to ask, what is their aim? What is their achievement? We are analyzing Nigeria. We already know the role Nigeria is meant to play in our life. But then the issue should be, what are we doing to checkmate it? We already know our fate in one Nigeria. The issue is, what are our plan to survive it? There is nothing you are going to tell me about Nigeria today that I have not seen or encountered in my life. And so the issue should be, how do we put an end to this? And trying to solve such riddle, trying to remove such problem, impediment and clause in the wheel of our progress, it is not on Facebook. Progressive minded people need to sit down, cause the consequence of our action, our next line of action, and then prepare our heart to make the necessary sacrifice. Somebody have to stand to defend the rest of the people. Like I said, I'll be signing off from here. I appreciate you, Mazi Paulo Kenkwo, for your contribution this evening. We'll continue pushing until we get home. And honestly, we are not going anywhere. Good night from here. Conscious people, genuine Biafrans, they will know.
I think it's time to lay it all out. Can I hear my snare drum?
Yeah, keep it rolling, sis. I'm on it.
That's okay, thank you. Check your man. Miss on my own this. Walking down the miles in the long journey. Yeah. People said we are nobody, but we know certainly we are somebody. Yeah, time is so hard. These days are like night, yet we struggle hard to see we get to the light. Like brothers and sisters, we join our hands to work hard. Yeah, and we are making sure that we get to the promised land, a land of milk and honey that is costly and worth more than gold money. We are making sure that we get out of this jungle, and the little cookie cabia my scissors true. No matter how deep the ocean, we will swim through and tell you words cannot explain all we have gone through. In the hands of the enemies, suing the government. Biafran blood, passed through with love, but we have Chukwoki Kabiama, nothing goes wrong. Blacks rules everything around me, and it's pounding my DNA. Cash rules everything around me, and it's found in my DNA. Yeah, freedom is everything about me, and it's found in my DNA. Biafra is everything about me, and it's found in my DNA. We bear from blood, we never give up in this struggle. We are aiming high up, we are smart and fast, and enemies can't catch up. Yes, we know what we want, so we keep our pace up. Listen, we can't demand for what is not ours. Biafra is a land, and for sure is ours. That's why I'm proud to say I'm a Biafran blood. I'm a Biafran. Biafra is blessed, Biafra is great, cause Chukwoki Kabiama has approved it himself. You see, Nigeria glooms while Biafra blooms. Biafra is an ideology, and there is no way that you can kill an ideology. We set up Biafrans with Biafra flowing in the blood through our veins, and all the efforts of our enemies to stop us has all been in vain, cause we are the chosen ones. Yeah, blacks rules everything around me, and it's pounding my DNA. apologize if it hurts you, but that's the truth. A Sunday, a Wendy.